enlarge a little bit on where the idea of civilization originated?
Well, I'm not Ken Cousins, but Civilis, there was a guy named Civilis, I think, and it comes from Rome and the Roman culture. And civil law is built upon, comes on top of common law. So to have a civil society is one in which civil law is used to regulate commerce and regulate all of our interactions. And that's not entirely a good thing, because when the emphasis is on civil law rather than common law, you get all kinds of regulations that can become very burdensome, and also you can have punishments that don't make sense. There is no sure remedy in civil law like there is in common law, and in civil law you can often, when that becomes the predominant force of law in a society like it is in ours today, the common sense aspects of common law become hidden and avoided, and you don't really have that sense of justice like you have in a simpler society. So in many ways, what we're experiencing now in the way of the growth of tyranny is the old Roman model that just dressed up and using civil law in order to impose a tyranny.
Our education, I graduated from high school in 1974, so that gives you an idea of the era that I was in school. And our world history was pretty much all about Rome. It mentioned Greece, and this was the inception, what was considered the inception of culture. Greece was mentioned. Babylon may have been vaguely alluded to, but I don't really remember that. Rome was heavily emphasized, and then the culture, what was considered world history, went from Rome, Italy, up into Europe. And what was called world history when I was in school was pretty much Roman and European history.
Mm-hmm.
Very little, if anything, about Asia. Some of the great cultures and societies, like Babylon, though Babylon was unholy. If you read the book of Revelation, I'm not lifting Babylon up. However, that was where our numeral system came from. I think in considering world history, it needs to be acknowledged. And there were many great cultures that were pretty much left out of our education. And the emphasis was on Rome. And our civil code comes to us in California, probably your state too, through New York. And the New York civil code completely based on the Roman civil code.
The Empire State, New York. And the empire that's being referred to in that nickname is the Roman Empire.
That's right.
And that's why it's called that.
So, little history.